and all those other joints out there. It's Kev from Kevin's Corner, where I try to make sense out of nonsense. And I figured I'd log on a few minutes early so I can get the preliminaries out of the way. Now, if this is your first time joining Kevin's Corner, please hit the like button, share my videos, and also make sure that you are subscribed and your notification button is turned on to all. Because sometimes YouTube feels like a nut, sometimes they don't. That's the tricky part about it. Now, before we get started, if you can, let me know you can hear me. That's the most important thing. Hate to be up here wasting all of these vocal cords for nothing. So let's see. All right. Not seeing anybody in the chat yet, even though I see, there we go. I see some thumbs up. That's what I'm talking about. I needed to see that so I can feel energized. Let me roll up my sleeves because it's about to get physical. All right. People said, hey, Kev. So I'm assuming some people can hear me. All right. That's what I'm talking about. So let me get busy since you can hear me. It's time to get physical because we got some stuff to talk about. And I'll go over some preliminaries after I get loose. Oh, yeah, that feels good. That got to stretch. Real gorilla. Real gorilla. Real gorilla. This is G's in the building. Gorillas in here. Gorillas in here. Gorillas in here. Gorillas in here. Now I see some people saying they're from Ohio. Christine, what's up? Oh yeah, I ran across some people yesterday at Jazz in the Park from Ohio that came up to me and started chatting with me. We got to stick together. Yeah, we was up there huddled up like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? We got to stick together. Okay, so I want to give them a shout out. She said that she has 3 little boys who all love watching Kevin from Kevin's Corner. And I said, that's right. Get them while they're young. You got to get them while they're young, okay? By the time they get up there in age, liberalism might set in and have affected them. We don't want that. We don't want that. So, yeah, man, up here in Ohio, which Ohio's going to get a shout out tonight during my live stream. So, if this is your first time joining Kevin's Corner, I got a corner store you can check out, too, with all kind of merchandise. All right, so you're welcome to go in there and check that out. And then that number 330-974-4607. If you text MAGA to that number, just in case somehow I mysteriously get removed from YouTube, I'll be able to let y'all know what happened. And finally, if you want to support the channel, you can. I have a PayPal and a Cash App below all of my videos. And I did upload some standalone videos. One of them is, well, several of them is about Kamala, but the one they're kind of let, trickle up, but the other ones they're suppressing. So you guys got to go to my channel, check them out, and share them if you can. Now, let's get busy because it's about that time for us to do some checking in. Trump, he's about to vocalize a couple ways he feel about Kamala Harris in this clip right here. And the bottom line is the world is in chaos right about now under Biden and Harris. Now, if people can't see that in America, if people can't recognize all of the things that are different under this administration than under Trump, then they're damaged goods. Now, that's not to say you give up on all of them. There are always going to be some that at the last second might wake up from the coma that they're in. Who knows? But if you can't see that it was peaceful under Trump, even though they tried to say he was going to take us into World War III. The economy was better under Trump. The border was better under Trump. Only thing that wasn't better under Trump was all of these radical behind Democrats screaming and yelling and protesting and acting a fool as if the world was coming to an end. But they were all a product of the Democrat Party and the fake news. If they would have reported accurately about Trump, his success, and the way he was handling our country, right now it wouldn't even be a question on who to vote for between him and Kamala Harris. Which, if you're thinking about voting for Kamala Harris, I got questions. If you don't live in California, Seattle, if you don't live in like certain parts of New York, places like that where I'm going, okay, those are damaged goods. The majority of the state is damaged goods. If you don't live somewhere there and you still are going, I think Kamala Harris is the better choice, you might want to check your special status. And I don't mean that in a good way. I don't mean the good special. I mean that special where they're like, shh, don't say nothing to them. They're special. Just leave them alone. Let them be. That type of special. And I'm going to prove it through tonight's live stream. So let's get it.
And she happens to be really a low IQ individual. She really does. She has a very low IQ.
Now see, they're going to say, he's saying that because she's a woman. No, I'll say that too. I'll tell her to her face. All the clips of her off script reveals that she got a low IQ. I mean, she needs that teleprompter, as we're going to see. She has not shown anything that would make me think that she has a high IQ. She doesn't think quick off of her feet, nothing. So I know they're going to take that soundbite and say Trump said that because she's a woman. No. We're going to provide evidence of that statement.
We don't need a low IQ.
No, we don't.
She vowed to ban fracking. She wants the government to stop people from eating red meat. She wants to get rid of your cows.
What the hell?
No more cows.
That's radical.
Killed this country more than anything in the last 3.5 years is inflation inflicted upon this country by Sleepy Joe Biden. The inflation has been a disaster in this country. And it's killed the middle class, it's killing the working class, and we're going to get inflation brought down. We have to bring prices down.
Prices.
Yes, we do. Now, see, this is something every American should be able to relate to. Inflation. This is what I've been hearing people complain about. Man, things are too expensive. Man, inflation's digging into me. So unless you're doing extremely well and you don't even have to consider inflation, then you probably should not vote for the current administration that has broken inflation. You probably shouldn't do that. You probably should vote for the person that when he was in office, inflation was low. It was too low. You probably should do that unless you are suffering from Trump derangement syndrome, which compromises your common sense. It will make you make choices that goes directly against your survival. And it kills me. I'm sitting there like, so everything sucks, everything's bad in America, but you're going to vote for the current administration that is overseeing all this horrific, mess right now we're looking at. Overseas, in the country, you name it. I mean, almost in every category, everything sucks. So why would you continue voting for folks that would continue it in the sucky direction it's going in? Yeah, man. I don't want the whole country to go down, especially considering we see it going down and everybody just got some common sense and say, pull up. But you got dummies that'll say, nope, because I want to be able to wake up and feel good about my decision because I didn't vote for that white nationalist Donald Trump. Get off the plane. That's what I say. Get off the plane. They ain't going to. So let's continue talking about all the things that suck right now under the Biden administration. Now, understand, Kamala Harris is still a part of this current administration. See, this is what's unique about this. She doesn't have the luxury of saying, I ain't had nothing to do with that. She don't have the luxury of saying, hey, look, that was all Biden. Here's my policies. I'm totally different. She put her stamp of approval on all the suckiness. Yeah, she did it. So while you're still in office, to show maybe what you are going to be able to do as president, you might want to start addressing some of the things that suck and trying to do something about it. You are inside and able to make some changes, some suggestions. We know Joe is completely blew out, but at the same time, you are campaigning to become the president. So that's a great position in my mind. I would think I would be like, yo, okay, now they done unleashed me, I'm going to start showing folks what I can do. Because, see, I'm on the inside. I'm going to make some changes now that's going to give me a little more credibility. Because right now, she has no credibility. I can't think of one thing she's ever done right. So let's continue because maybe she's going to go ahead and prove me wrong.
Are up over 19.4% in the 3 years since President Biden took office. Wow. Trump says he'll increase oil production, implement higher tariffs on imported goods, extend Trump tax cuts, and boost auto industry production.
Sound good to me.
We're not going to let people come to build them in Mexico and build cars and sell them in the United States and close up Michigan and South Carolina and other more.
And you know why you're not going to do that, Trump? Because you are an American first president. You have common sense. That's why you're not going to do it. It seems like all of the policies of the Biden administration is dumb. They end up hurting the American people, but yet they justify by virtue signaling, saying it's for climate, opening up our border, saying it's, you know what, it was compassion for all these people who coming for a better life. All of the stuff that they do that ends up hurting us, they try to cover it up with some type of, you know, purpose that's higher than us. We have to all work together and fight injustice and do all of this stupid stuff. And I'm going, that sounds good and all, but it's hurting us. What about the injustice that's being done to the American workers? What about the injustice that's being done in all of these neighborhoods that have violence going on because Democrats that have illegal immigrants crowding it and bringing violence because of Democrats? What about that justice? So let's continue, because right now the stock market done went belly up.
Want it to be more expensive? If you do it here? No, it won't be. It'll be great.
Bidenomics.
So here we go now, 9:30 in New York. Markets officially opening for the day, and we are off 4 digits. Woo! On the Dow 30. Painful week last week at the end of the week on Wall Street stock futures today, and crypto prices sharply dropping overnight. Asia had a big sell-off. Japan with its worst day since 1987. We had a weak jobs report on Friday, and run it down for us. Kelly, what are you seeing and why? Good morning.
Well, this is a mess. And it's coming at the worst time for the Biden administration, who's been running around touting all of, their success with the economy. Economy's up. Save the economy from Trump and all of that stuff. Now, what I don't understand is how Kamala Harris can be in this administration right about now and not take some credit for the downfall in regards to the economy right now and inflation. I don't understand. I mean, how is she going to explain this? Or how can she address it? This could be a great opportunity for her to come out and say, okay, before I had to honor what the president was doing, but now that I'm about to take the reins, here's my suggestion on how we can improve or do something different. You would think she'd take advantage of that, and she's going to in a second. She's going to come out and address it. Try to clean it all up for us, guys. So let's continue, because right now it's looking mighty bleak.
Morning.
All red.
All red.
Now, I mean, look, this is all about uncertainty. That jobs report, it spurred fears the Fed has waited too long to cut rates and that we could be entering that recession territory. So just to get your read on where we are on the major indices right now. So the Dow is down 1,120 points. The NASDAQ.
That's a lot. Somebody said, just blame Trump. You already know it. Doesn't matter what it is. Trump. I inherited this. The last administration. Actually, we saved it. We say it would be worse. It would be worse if it wasn't for us, because Trump really, 4 years almost into the presidency, anything to go wrong. Still, Trump somehow. Interesting. But she is going to try to come out and explain to us her wonderful economic strategy.
Down 1,050, and then the S&P 500 down over 200. Those are dropping even from just when we opened. Now, zooming out, you mentioned it. The global markets are reeling as well. The Japanese Nikkei closed down over 12%.
Oh, no.
Worst day since 1987. Cryptocurrencies, they are also shedding over 250 billion in the last 24 hours. Couple things we're watching that could point to a recession here. So Goldman Sachs, they just upgraded the risk of a recession from 15% to 25%. I will note they still see that risk is limited, but you can see that concern is escalating. The second key indicator is the unemployment rate. Okay, so that ticked up to 4.3% last month. This triggers what's known as the SOM rule. So that says a recession is likely already underway. When
oh no. So we got a secret recession right about now? Yeah, it's like an undercurrent. We don't know it's there. We don't know it's there until it's too late. That's what it is. So we better all jump back in the boat. We better save our chips. We better hang on to the fish we catch. No time to throw them back. No time to throw them back. Dang on, we ain't the Biden administration, catch and release. You better hang on to all the fish you catch, because it looks like some hard times is coming. Hard times. So now, all of these things are taking place, even though just a couple months ago, they were telling us that the job unemployment was down, and all of this stuff. And, we were not going into a recession. Things were great. We just couldn't see it. Things were great. So they were gaslighting us then. And she's under this administration, which befuddles me, because she was out there saying the same stuff. She was out there touting bidenomics. If she would have been involved in this, maybe she'd have been able to see some things coming. You think Kamala knows about this type of stuff? You think that she's really a brush on, economic strategy and things like that? Who knows? Who knows? Because she appears to know a lot about nothing. But let's continue, though, because who knows? This could be her strong area.
The 3-month moving average for unemployment rises 0.5 percentage point versus the low it saw over the past year. So all you need to know there is 4.3%. It checks that box. And the SOM rule has been accurate in defining every recession since the early 70s.
Oh, man. Wow. Every recession since the early 70s? Now, that's a winning record. Hopefully they're wrong this time. But most likely not. Most likely not. And, I tell you, on one end, I'm like, this sucks. But on the other end, maybe the dummies need to see what the Biden administration has dealt them. Maybe they need to feel it. It's kind of like the whole situation with people in the inner city who got a real live dose of all these illegal immigrants in their neighborhoods. They needed to feel it. And hopefully they're still feeling it right now, so they don't forget about the pain when they go to the polls. That's the problem when it comes down to humans, okay? Especially humans, they got bubble heads. They forget the pain. If it doesn't happen right before voting, they'll have these folks going out there, what about illegal immigration? Oh, Trump's a white nationalist xenophobe. They will have them thinking crazy. Like they would forget completely that it was the Biden administration who contributed to all of this. Do you understand the litany of destruction that this whole cabinet has dealt to the American people? I mean, look what happened with Afghanistan. People forgot. People ain't gonna be thinking about these things when they go to the poll. So I hope the Trump campaign is bombarding the public with reminders of all the damage that this administration has caused. These were the same folks who locked everybody in their cribs, and she supported that mess. Unless you were a gay bathhouse or, you know what I'm saying? You play the lottery, you can do all that stuff. Or Walmart, McDonald's, the big dogs. But folks that want to go to church, maybe get married, go to the hospital to see grandma or papa. Nah, man, we can't do it for y'all, okay? Yeah, these were the same folks who did that. Anybody who felt like they were pressured into getting a vaccine to keep their job, there is no way in the heck you should be voting for this chick. Unbelievable. But by now they might have forgot. Yeah, so let's continue.
A lot of investors, though, I'm talking to are pushing back on this. They're saying, look, this sell-off, it's more of a correction. You still have sky-high valuations for big tech, driven by all of this AI hype. You had some disappointing earnings. That's causing investors to think twice, take some profit. So, Bill, yes, there is real concern over the economic data, but it is still too early to determine if the sell-off we're seeing today is permanent.
What some would call history in the mystery. Don't say that.
We have never been down 1,000 points ever, not even intraday on the NASDAQ.
So Biden broke another record? Never been down this far? Ever? Wow. We ain't never had this many people cross the border either. I mean, he's breaking all kind of records. This is ridiculous. But they're not good records. These are not records you can celebrate. And it's taking the media either brainwashing folks to forget, hitting them with the men in black. The Biden administration didn't do any of this food. Kamala Harris had nothing to do with this food. It takes that for folks to forget all of this mess. It's ridiculous. I actually talked to a couple people who was like, man, I vote for Kamala Harris. I'm going, ay. Intelligent people too. They want to do super smart. And I'm going, Should I even gauge? How could you be so smart and dumb at the same time? Let's continue.
Is that true?
That is true.
Okay. It is a market sell-off, and here's what's behind it.
What's behind it?
First, an economic slowdown that points to recession. The housing market's in deep trouble. The consumer looks to be tapped out. Friday's very weak jobs report convinced investors that the slowdown is real. You know, it didn't help when Warren Buffett revealed he'd sold about half his stake in Apple and that he'd been a net seller of stocks for several quarters. It sends a signal when an investor of his stature cuts his stock holdings.
Run for your lives. That's the signal. Yeah, man, if you're in a forest and you see a couple gazelles go flying by, take off running. They're the first to know. The most scared is animals out there in the Serengeti, drinking water but can't even drink because they're looking whole time like, watching for their lives. When they take off, you need to bounce. So folks like Warren Buffett, yeah, if he is selling stock and stuff, now granted, you know, he's probably going to try to reinvest it and all that stuff, but good grief, it looks like we're headed for hard times. So for folks that ain't got Warren Buffett money, you might want to hold on to your chips. So let's see if it's going to get worse or better anytime soon.
Do you know he now has $277 billion in cash? War talk is also a factor in this sell-off. Iran is considering a direct attack on Israel.
Thanks, Biden. All of this mess overseas, all of the people is like, you know what, we don't need to be going to war. Trump's going to take us to war. And we want all of this. Look at this. Mess after mess all over the place. Where's Kamala Harris? Do you think she has the negotiating skills to go in and broker any type of ceasefire, any type of agreement? Do you think she's going to be able to go in there and spar with Xi and spar with Putin, Kim Jong-un, Iran? This is the stuff that bothers me. It keeps me up at night because I'm thinking like the enemy. If I was the enemy and I wanted to really cripple the U.S., who would I prefer in office? The man who's shown that he will put his foot all the way up our tails, however, will still treat us fairly if we act right. Would I want that guy? Or would I want this chick who every chance she got to present herself professionally on the global stage, she laid an egg. Every chance. I'm here with those hands all the time. I'm here in Europe, in Ukraine, and every single time she got a chance, she stunk it up. We have a great relationship with North Korea. It's been strong for years. That chick? Would I want her? You think they would take her seriously? Absolutely not. So now we got all this stuff going on. Where's Kamala? What is her stance on this?
It's retaliation for the killing of the Hamas leader in Tehran last week. A wave of rocket attacks is expected. Mayors in Israeli towns have been warned about power and water outages. In Tel Aviv, an underground bunker has been publicly revealed for the first time. It is ominous. And then there's politics and the election.
Stuff falling apart. Looks like the whole world is going belly up. And yet the fake news is pushing Kamala up. That's the sad part about it. They're trying to elevate a person who will contribute to the destruction, the further destruction of our country. That's what burns me up. It's like the fake news cares nothing. And you're right about that. Jesus is coming soon. I mean, I feel it in my bones, I must admit. But the whole fake agenda of pushing her up, trying to anoint and appoint her as the soon-to-be president. And I'm thinking, don't y'all care about this country? Do y'all see this woman will lead us into destruction? First of all, she wouldn't even be running the dang on country. Y'all are about to stick a puppet in office. Who knows who's running the country? Maybe that's why they don't care. Maybe they know that deep down, she's not going to be running nothing anyway. Let's go ahead and put her in as a figure head. And we'll stop Orange Man Bad and let the Marxists and globalists continue ripping our country to pieces and selling us out. Such selfish people.
If we're heading to recession, Wall Street doesn't want to hear about tax hikes on corporations or the repeal of Trump's tax cuts. So here we are in white knuckle territory. The Federal Reserve is being hammered for not cutting rates. AI looks like a bubble that's bursting, and the 162 million Americans who have a stake in the stock market are looking at a cut in their net worth.
All that, ladies and gentlemen, and everyone else, that is called bidenomics.
There you go.
That is called bidenomics, and we are very proud of bidenomics.
I bet you are. You hear that? Bidenomics. That's what it got us. Bidenomics. But you know what? The media is not gonna. They're not gonna touch on that. They're not gonna be like about Kamala Harris. Have you contributed to this? And did you ever vocalize your opinion while they were destroying the country and fluffing the numbers about the economy and stuff? And did you ever wonder, since Joe Biden have scrambled eggs for brains, if he was able to really know what was going on with the economy? Did you ever say maybe somebody else should step in? And did you? Well, here's somebody from the Biden administration who's about to tell us how America's okay, because we can never collapse economically. You know why? Because we print our own money. We print our own money. Yeah, this guy right here.
The U.S. government can't go bankrupt because
we can't go bankrupt. So this is Jared Bernstein, chair of the economic advisors. President Joe. This guy works with Kamala, y'all. She works with Kamala. He works with Kamala. So let's see him give us some relief about, first of all, being competent and knowing what he's talking about, and reassuring us that don't worry about our economy. Don't worry about inflation and rates and stuff like that. Don't worry about it. We're good. We're good because we can print our own money. So now he's going to explain this to us, y'all, because he's competent.
Because we can print our own money.
It obviously begs the question, why exactly are we borrowing in a currency that we print ourselves? I'm waiting for someone to stand up and say, why do we borrow our own currency in the first place?
Now, that's a good question. Why are we borrowing our own currency? And sometimes we be borrowing from China and other places like that, too. But this guy's going to explain it so clearly.
Like you said, they print the dollar. So why does the government even borrow?
Well, some of this stuff gets...
That's not a good start. Well, like he almost didn't expect her to ask the question. Thought he could just get away with it. We'll never go bankrupt because, America, we print our own money. Why do we print and borrow our own money? What? Yeah. Well, let me see. Now he's sounding like Kamala Harris. Let's continue hearing this guy that's on the advisory board give us reassurance about our economic status in the world.
Some of the language some of the language and concepts are just confusing. The government definitely prints money, and it definitely lends that money, which is why the government definitely prints money, and then it lends that money by...
You just said that. You sounded like Kamala Harris, repeating the same thing. What kind of people are they hiring in the Biden administration? Yeah, I'm a little confused. I'm a little concerned. Kamala seems to not know what the heck she's talking about. Pete Booty seems to not know what he's talking about. The guy who thinks he's a girl is what do they call her? The major or just some colonel, whatever. Don't know what they're talking about. Nobody in the administration knows what they're talking about. Even Biden. Biden don't know what he's talking about. Now this guy, you would think, that he knows something about this concept because he just confidently threw it out there. We'll never go bankrupt because we print our own money. Now he has to give a explanation, and this is where they all go belly up. They don't want to get into details. They just throw these things out here. They just do these things, and they just worry about the fallout, I guess, later. And when somebody calls them and says, hey, explain that, break that down, this is what you get.
By selling bonds. Is that what they do?
Is that what they do? Boy, I would pin this guy to the bidenomics. I would make sure I highlight this guy. And I would say, hey, Kamala, hey, Chameleon, were you okay with this pick right here? Were you cool? This is what's going on within y'all administration. This is a result of Biden. No wonder everything's going belly up. when you got folks like this advising economic advisors.
They sell bonds. Yeah.
It just looks like he's trying to remember what it is. He's trying to work it out in his head. Like, shoot, that's a good question. I have no idea why we borrow our own money. That's a good, okay, well, I think, yeah, I'm pretty sure. I'm going to go ahead and go with this. Come on. I'm going with it because hopefully nobody knows anything about this and I could just feed them a word salad.
They sell bonds, right? Because they sell bonds and people buy the bonds and lend them the money. Yeah, so a lot of times, at least to my ear with MMT, the language and the concepts can be kind of unnecessarily confusing, but there is no question.
To who? You or us? You or us?
It prints money, and then it uses that money to, I guess I can't really talk.
He's confused. He seems like he's just getting a revelation of that is stupid. You got a good point. That's dumb. Like, yeah, that's, now that I think about it, that's kind of stupid. I never question things. I just do them because that's the way it's always been done. That's how we operate over here in the Biden administration. And thus you get bidenomics. There you go. This is the intricate details and workings of bidenomics. Right here, guys. Yeah. Now, the sad part is I know he knows more than chameleon Kamala Harris knows. That's the scary part. Would you rather a businessman running the country who have proven success of revitalizing the economy or some chick who ain't never done nothing right, just somehow magically made her way all the way to the leading candidate? Haven't shown any history of budgeting or building an economy or even participating in these meetings. I wonder, like, how involved was she? I need you to come out and say, look, man, I was hands-on. I know what's going on with the economy. I know what she hasn't shown anything. In fact, if you go to her website, there's nothing up there about her policies. Nothing. So let's continue hearing this guy break it down to reassure us that the Biden administration is on top of things.
Oh, I don't get it. I don't know what they're talking about. Because it's like,
what the heck?
The government clearly prints money. It does it all the time, and it clearly borrows.
He sounds like he don't even work for the government. Now it sounds like he talked himself out of this. Like, you know what? Actually, I don't get it. I mean, it's like clearly the government prints it, but now that I think about it, it's rather stupid.
Borrows. Otherwise, we wouldn't be having this debt and deficit conversation. So I don't think there's anything confusing there.
I do. I'm more confused now than before you started talking. I'm sitting there like, wait a minute, hold on, go back. Wait, we printed? Is that a good thing or a bad thing? And why do we borrow money again? What's these bonds? What does this have to do with it? And this is his answer. That man just dismounted with that.
What else?
Oh, but don't worry, guys. Don't worry. Chameleon Kamala is on the job. She done heard about the economy. Heard about it. Now she get a question. She about to come out and stick this one. She about to come out and tell us, fear not, little flock. I'm about to tell y'all what Kamala's about to drop. Okay? She gonna tell us how she gonna get inflation down. Break that mess down, Chameleon.
Are you going to do to fix this problem with inflation?
All right, thank you. Well, let's start with this.
Okay.
Prices.
She sound like the other guy. Shoot. Actually, we print money. Why does all of them start off like this? Let's start with this. And then she got that. What is this? I'm telling you, man, the Democrats are horrific to stick this woman up in our face. Let's start with this. What is that? But let's finish hearing her tell us how she's going to fix it.
Have gone up.
Prices have gone up. Okay, we know that.
Families and individuals are dealing with the realities of
Look at her. Uncomfortable, nervous, rambling, repeating stuff as she's talking through it in her head. Like, okay, I have no idea how to fix this. I have no idea what's going on with inflation or the economy. No idea. I didn't pay attention. I know they invited me to all of the meetings and stuff, but I had too many things to do, I guess. And when I was there, I was mad and angry and sitting there twirling around on the chair and looking at my phone. Boy, I should have paid attention tonight. Anyway, boy, here I am. Come on, chameleon, come on. This is what we do. We adapt. Okay, so, well, let me think. What are the bad things that could come out of high inflation? Okay, here we go. So inflation is high, which is bad, and people don't like high inflation because it's bad, because it inflates. See, so when inflation inflates, it gets bigger. And folks, it sounds like she's just winging it, like she's just thinking about what regular people would be saying or what they would be feeling due to high inflation. And I'm just going to repeat these things. But she's not addressing how to solve the problem.
That bread costs more, the gas costs more. And we have to understand what that means. That's about the cost of...
We have to understand what that means. They stick, no wonder she's not doing interviews. No wonder she didn't show up to debate Trump in that very friendly atmosphere where he questioned whether she was a sister or not. But now we have to understand what that means. Well, the people understand what it means when they go in and buy bread, eggs, bacon. I still haven't gotten any bacon, y'all. Still sitting there like I refuse to buy the swine because the money is ridiculous. I'm sitting there like, man, I'm not paying almost $12 for a pack of bacon. Not happening. I'm boycotting the bacon until the price goes down. But it ain't going to go down with this person up here telling us how she's going to solve the inflation.
living going up. That's about having to stress and stretch limited resources. That's about a source of stress for families that is not...
There she goes. She's off the rails. She's off-roading right now. All over the place. Fighting with the wheel. That's about, you have, it stretches and it brings stress, because stress stretches things, and people don't like stress, okay? All she's doing is trying to say, I recognize bad things and how people might not like these bad things. But she's not taking the ownership. She's not saying, hey, this is bidenomics. We did this. Now, if this is all happening on your watch while you're still in the administration, you better be working on a solution. Especially if you want to get elected. You should be able to come out to this mic and say, hey, look, I know things might be, horrible right now, but here's my idea, my vision going forward. Here's how I think we can solve this or fix this. Do you think that airhead right there knows that? Yeah. Do you think this woman right here have a good command about, economics and all of that stuff? No. She has flubbed her way all the way into this position. Now she's getting exposed. And this should be way worse if the media was really going after her. I mean, this right here alone should tick everybody off. And I'm back. Feet cut out for some reason. But we're expecting her to come out and give us a solution about how she's going to solve inflation. And all she does is give us a word salad and simply says, well, I know you're hurting. Things are expensive. You don't like it. And I'm going to go ahead and try to make you feel I empathize with you. And that is it.
Not only economic, but is on a daily level, something that is a heavy weight to carry. So it is something that we take very seriously.
There it is. It's seriously as serious as we can seriously take it. Because, the seriousness of it is serious. See, so seriously speaking, we have to seriously evaluate how seriously things are. Because if you don't take it seriously, then it's never going to be solved, because you're not taking it seriously as you can take it seriously as you can possibly be serious about it. Thank you for coming. That's what she sounds like.
Very seriously. And we know from the history of this issue in the United States that when you see these prices go up, it has a direct impact on the quality of life.
It's just explaining things like she's talking to a group of kids. Because when things go up, it gets bad for people's lives. Because when things are more expensive, then people have to spend more money. And they don't like spending more money because they want to make more money to be able to spend it. And if they don't have enough money that they make, then they can't buy more expensive things. Boys and girls, what is she doing? I mean, no wonder they keep her in the closet. Keep her in the closet.
For all people in our country.
For all people in our country.
So it's a big issue, and we take it seriously. And it is a priority, therefore.
There it is. That's the solution. It's a big issue. We take it seriously, and it's a priority. Y'all get that? So now, if she's the president and she comes out and gives us that garbage, she should be ripped to shreds. If the media was not propping her up, they should be letting her have it based off of what she just said. But no, not them. They were acting like that was brilliantly said. Yeah. Well, how are we going to solve it again? Well, that's a good question. She never said. Yeah. But don't worry about it. I'm sure she's working on something. We have no idea what her plan is to solve it. She just said a whole bunch of words without saying nothing. That's what she did. And she wants to be our president. And the media is trying to help her become that. So let's see. The media has a lot of scrubbing to polish that turd. You see that turd she just laid? Now we're about to see just how much scrubbing they need to do. Because this turd right here is funky. Check it out, y'all. How they gonna polish
Attorney
this?
General in California, and she was the senator from California.
Y'all hear this? These are Kamala voters, y'all. They're telling us how brilliant she is and all of her accomplishments. All right, y'all hear this?
I really don't know much of what she did.
What?
I'm not sure.
You sound like that guy a minute ago. I know we print. Yeah, that's a good question. I don't know why. You sound like Kamala. Is this what? Does all left? Is this a characteristic of being on the left? You got to be kidding me. All of them. Da ra ma da na. That's a good question. So let's hear him go ahead and tell us why we should cast our vote for Chameleon.
Know enough about her accomplishments to answer that question.
This is ridiculous. I'm starting to lean towards just having some type of litmus test to vote. I really am. You need to at least be able to mention 10 things that you're voting for. Okay? 10 things of substance. Not that she's cute. That she's I like girls that are 5'8" and above. That guy right there has nice hair. You should at least be able to give a couple real reasons why you're voting for who you're voting for. If you ask any Trump supporter, they can rip off about 5 to 10 things quickly. These folks, listen to this mess.
She carries herself.
He was Attorney General.
How she carries herself. Yeah, I'm moving towards this not having some folks vote. I'm telling you, well, you know what? We need to have a voting psychiatric evaluation. So you say you're voting for Kamala Harris. Are you fully aware that she currently is in the administration that caused all of the pain and suffering you're experiencing right now? Yes. Okay. And do you think that it would be smart to vote for her knowing that? Yes. Okay. This one's over. There we go. Put that out right there. Take her away. No voting for you. None. Oh, wait. Here's a brother. Let's see what he got to say.
In her state, she moved up to becoming, the vice president of the United States. So she has definitely she's definitely made her stamp in history of being the first African-American female president, vice president, and soon to be first vice president as a woman of color.
Oh, God. First of all, he don't realize she did the nasty to get to the top. A lot of nastiness went on for her to get to the position she was in California. Then a lot of home cooking took place for her to become the VP And now some more home cooking just took place to make her the front runner. Does that guy know that? He thinks she worked her way all the way up. I thought she got to that took a lot. First of all, he didn't even explain any accomplishments along the way. It's just she was a senator. She was this district attorney. Then she became vice president, and now she's the front runner. And that's what she had did, and that's why I'm voting for her. It's ridiculous. Man, these people's voting IQ, their political IQ is negative. But hey, here's this turd they're going to try to polish. Listen to this.
You know, we have to stay woke. Like, everybody needs to be woke. And you can talk about if you're the wokest or woker, but just stay more woke than less woke. Yeah.
Whole time. Woke is woker. What the heck is going on? Is that what the Midwest needs? Do we all need to be woke? Huh? Do we need more transgender neutral bathrooms? Do we need that? Do we need more legislation that protects kids to get stuff done to them and things like this she wants to promote? Bathrooms where folks can go in and out. Sports where guys could jump in and sock it to women. Do we need more of that? Do we need more of having to tiptoe around people's pronouns? Do we need more folks in the military? This is my two moms. That my mom was do we need more of that? Here she is. More wokeness. More wokeness leads to more brokenness. That's where we're at right now. Oh, wait, here's something else. Let's see if they can polish this turd. See, I want to show them how dirty the turd is, and then I want to see if they can clean this one up.
Sure. And so what expectation of privacy do you attach to whatever is placed in that particular place as it relates to that house?
What? Mm-hmm.
So, given where we are now, so you're now no longer are you necessarily keeping those private files in some file cabinet that's locked in the basement of the house. It's on your laptop, and it's then therefore.
Y'all hear that, boys and girls? Right now we're talking to the kindergarten class. They're probably circled around her, sitting crisscross applesauce. Wow. All over the place. They started off inside of the computer. I think they're inside. They're inside here, right? But then all of a sudden they're no longer inside, which means they're somewhere out there. Oh, wait, that's a movie. Come on, Chameleon. Come on. Okay. They started there. Now they're somewhere, and that somewhere is a place, and the place is everywhere. There you go. Let's finish hearing her tell us about the cloud.
Up here in this cloud.
Like your brains?
That exist above us, right? It's no longer in a physical place. It's just tough to keep.
Good googly moo. Jeez. This is going to be a regretting vote for some people. See, they don't see stuff like this. Just like they didn't see Biden. During the National Depression, isolated, punished China. America can be summed up with one word. Just like they didn't see all of that. I mean, when folks were hitting me up like, dude, I didn't know Biden was that bad. I'm going, you should be embarrassed. Yeah, I tried to tell you. And you voted for that. You overlooked all of that. Community college and Medicare care and like kids rubbing up my legs. And you didn't see none of that. Now you got to be embarrassed. You need to wear the scarlet letter. If you got duped and voted for Biden, same thing's going to happen to people that ends up voting for her because the media is propping her up. They don't want folks to see this stuff right here. That's why I'm here. That's why I'm here. I'm here to show them all of it.
Reacting to know, that you can just predict they're going to come out and just knock them right back in.
Meanwhile, I have no idea what the heck she just said. No idea. That was a word salad that good googly moo. I'm overfed with salad right now. She done gave me let me hear that again.
And expectation of privacy do you attach to whatever is placed in that particular place as it relates to that house? Mm-hmm. So, given where we are now, so you're now no longer are you necessarily keeping those private files in some file cabinet that's locked in the basement of the house.
Gotcha.
it's on your laptop, and it's then therefore up here in this cloud.
Just straight winging it. Straight winging it. I mean, maybe she's saying it like that because she's explaining it to herself. Maybe she got to talk herself through it in the most childlike way because that's the level her brain is operating on. That's what it sounds like. Sounds like she's walking herself through it like a kid would. I mean, this is not presidential. This right here only would encourage every enemy to say, oh, they got another puppet, they got another dummy in office. There's no way they could roll her out to negotiate on behalf of the country. She is awful, off script.
That exists above us, right? It's no longer in a physical place. It's just tough to keep reacting to known, that you can just predict they're going to come out and just knock them right back in.
Meanwhile, most regular Americans who aren't highly politically attuned haven't really started paying attention to the race. That typically doesn't happen until after Labor Day. But once they do, number one, they're going to learn that Kamala Harris is a California Berkeley radical. But number two, I believe once they think about the calculus of what Joe Biden, what has happened within the Democratic Party, right? Yeah. The fact that the Democratic power brokers were able to effectively select rather than elect their nominee.
No, you're asking too much for their voters, though. You're asking too much for their voters. Yeah, I hear what you're saying. Only intelligent folks in the middle might be able to comprehend what they did, might be able to recognize that, hey, they're talking about saving democracy, and yet they just executed a coup against their own candidate and stuck this chick in there and bypassed democracy. Yeah, I forgot to put the clip in about The View, who was up there getting mad because somebody said he believed and folks should be voting for a candidate, and they got mad at him. I don't think it should be that way. I bet you don't, you Marxists. So now here this guy is. I hear what he's saying, but I have no faith in the bubbleheads.
14 million Democratic voters were disenfranchised, and that in effectively a smoke-filled room, the important people, in quotes.
And so many of them don't even realize it. They have no idea that they've been disenfranchised. They're just happy to be voting for somebody who can walk and talk, barely. That's what it is. They're just like, I don't care that my vote didn't count. I don't care. That's how simple-minded their voters are. They just switch candidates so easily. Their attention span just was immediately like, what? Oh, we got a new candidate? Great. They didn't even stop to realize, how did we get to the new candidate? What took place to get here? On our side, we're smart enough to know if the Republicans try to do that crap to Trump, we would have a fit. And that's the only reason they didn't do it to Trump, because they knew we were smart enough to recognize the coup. Yeah, they tried several times with the coup to get rid of Trump. The rhinos did. And it all failed because the people were going, we see what you're doing, okay? We picked the candidate we want. But Democrat voters, no idea. No idea. They're like, okay, they feed us cake. Yeah, so now we're over going to feed us steak. Why they going to feed us cake? We'll eat it.
Decided who this will be, and that Joe Biden would not step aside, that he had to be pushed out in a political backroom bloodless coup.
What? No, because according to the media, who has to shine and polish all this mess up, he stepped down because he's noble. He did what was best for his country. He's a hero. That's why. And we got somebody who's going to come out and explain it, just in case you don't believe what I'm saying.
He had to be pushed out. And I would further add, Dan, that he won't resign right now. The fact that he won't resign when he's not running again and make her President Harris, I believe, is an indictment of Harris in the eyes of Joe Biden.
Well, we got somebody to come out and combat that rumor.
Really? He won't do that for her.
Look, I agree with you.
Think about that.
Yeah. Let's get the nasty truth, y'all.
Please tell us what you told President Biden to persuade him to step aside.
Now, first of all, don't you come at me with that tone, you pipsqueak. Now, before I begin my line, I need to take my medicine. Oh, yes, that's good. That's good, Nancy. Now, back to you, you serf. Now, what were you asking me about that Biden character? So let's see what she got to say.
Well, I've never shared any conversations with the President of the United States publicly, no.
It said that he's furious at you.
All right.
Well, he knows that I love him very much.
I understand that you don't want to own this, but it is so well reported that you were the leader of a pressure campaign.
Uh-oh. She's going a little too far. Nasty, don't play that. Don't be asking nasty questions like that, okay? You just accept what Nasty give you. Now you pushing it, woman. You pushing it. Don't make her have you flogged. So now let's see how Nasty answers this. Because we all know it was Nasty who drove him out of there along with some others.
Pain. No, I wasn't a leader of any pressure party. Well, let me say things that I didn't do.
What I didn't do is have him killed. That's what I thought about doing the first time he denied Nasty. I said no one refuses Nasty's requests. So, Joseph, you listen to me now, and listen to me good, before I put this monkey paw right up your butt. Now you step down, you ragamuffin, or I'll have you killed. I went too far? Maybe just blackmail? Okay, yes, well, that's where we'll start. And don't correct me either. I'll have you killed too. Now, back to you, you peasants.
Yeah, that's what she probably should be saying.
I didn't call one person. I did not call one person. I could always say to him, I never called anybody. What I'm saying is I had confidence that the president would make the proper...
My decision.
I had confidence that the president would make my decision. I remember her on TV. Y'all act like we forgot. She was just on TV talking about I hope he makes the right decision. And they're like, well, he's already made his decision, ma'am.
Oh, he did? Well, he didn't make Nasty's choice, so therefore he hasn't made his decision.
Yeah, that chick was like, okay, no, we're talking about the right decision, which is step your butt down. We all knew what Nasty meant. And Joe mad at her. He mad at her, y'all.
Choice for our country, whatever that would be. And I said that, whatever that is, we'll go with.
And didn't go with it, because Joe told us what it was. He told us what it was, man. He's like, I ain't going anywhere. They're trying to pressure Joey to go and sit down. Well, I'm not going there. I'm going to beat Donald Trump like what? I'm not going.
Had you seen a decline in Joe Biden?
No, I haven't.
Did you think?
Look at her. Lubricating that mush mouth.
Get ready, Nasty, for a big fat lie.
Needed to step aside.
No,
Holy moly. Then why did he step aside? See, this is the stuff that Democrat voters take. No. I'm like, so then why did he step down? You're telling me you didn't recognize no mental decline. So for some gut reason, you just decided, I just don't think he's the right candidate, so I think he should step down. Nothing but lies. Yeah, just straight looked us in the camera. No.
My whole point was, whatever he decides, but we have to have a more aggressive campaign.
Oh, in other words, we didn't like Joe because he was losing, but he was losing because he was dying mentally. But guys, here comes the biggest lie of all.
So he was in a good place to make whatever decision, the top of his game. Such a consequential president of the United States, a Mount Rushmore kind of president.
Mount Rushmore kind of president
of the United States.
You don't know what you're talking about, do you?
No, she doesn't, Anton Sugar. Did this chick just say Joe Biden is a Mount Rushmore? I would put his face on an anthill. Got the nerve to be talking about some
Mount Rushmore type of president.
Are you kidding me? Man, dude. Somebody go find me some dinosaur doodoo. I'll put his face on the side of that. Somebody find me a dumpster and I'll put his face on the side of that. Somebody finds me an elephant butt, I would tattoo his face on the back of that. Got the nerve to be talking about his face deserves to be on Mount. Oh boy, I tell you, man. Yeah, it should be up there as the worst president that America's ever had. We'll never have another one like this. That's the only way his face is getting up there, and it better not be touching the other president's face. Yeah, put that one way down there with an arrow pointing to go see the worst go travel 500 yards round the corner to the back of the mountain, and you'll see who that is. Creepy. Got the nerve to fix that nasty mush mouth to lie about that.
Want to know what comes next?
That he belongs up there on
She did.
Mount Rushmore.
Nasty will say
Lincoln
anything.
and Joe Biden.
But you got Teddy Roosevelt up there, and he's wonderful. I don't say take him down, but you can add Biden.
Unbelievable. So, guys, that right there was hilarious to see Nasty Pelosi try to pull that off, to save face about what she really did to her buddy Joe. Yeah, remember, guys, this is the same lady who got caught on that hot mic early in Joe's presidency, where he was like, "Hey, Nance, you want me to continue or you want me to stop?" Is my mic on? No. Well, then no, we don't want him to talk. Wonder why you didn't want him to talk. I mean, he was the president of the free world. He should have a command of the English language. You should be confident to stick him out there to continue talking. The more talking, the better. And now I'm starting to see that same method being used with Kamala Harris. There it is. They're not letting her come out and talk because we just saw the results of her talking. So, guys, it appears that somebody's talking for her. Yeah, man. Prop her up, boys. She can't do it on her own. Oh, we got MSNBC. Oh, they even slid in Fox, CBS, all of that. Well, let's see. Let's see what they're doing, y'all. We knew they up to shit.
You guys caught this, but MSNBC was exposed today for yet another set of lies.
What?
They deceptively edited together this video of different Joe Rogan comments to make it appear that he was singing the praises of Kamala Harris.
She's gonna win. No, she's not. She can win. She is a strong woman. She is a person who served overseas twice. She in a medical unit. So
that wasn't even her. That was Tulsi Gabbard. I mean, did they not even check to see who he was referring to? Good. You see, we're not fighting against Kamala Chameleon. We're fighting against all of this garbage. Unbelievable. Is this considered a cheap fake, guys? I'm just wondering, is this considered? Now, I saw Joe Rogan's whole statement. I saw that segment. They hacked this up to make this look like it was something totally different from what's supposed to be a legitimate network. He should sue the heck out of them. He should demand an open apology. I cannot believe they did this. And look at this.
she was a congresswoman for 8 years. Yeah. She is a person of color. She's everything you want. She's gonna win. No, she's not. She can win. They just want no Trump, no matter what.
This is not reflective at all of the truth of what Joe Rogan said. And I think MSNBC has since taken this post down. But
why would you take it down? Why won't you stand for your work? Why won't you sit back and say, okay, now understand, they will whine about anything. They don't even like the picture of Trump throwing his fist up at this point. They're trying to get that removed, trying to say it's altered, that something about it is fake. And they come up with a full-blown, hacked, chopped up video of Joe Rogan, who they know have a huge audience that might listen to that, and try to insert all those clips and put them together to make it sound like he was praising Kamala Harris. Unbelievable. Now, they get busted, but my question is how many dummies saw that? That's the question. How many dummies saw it?
What's really serious here is that not only does Joe Rogan deserve an apology, there's actually something far bigger at stake here. This is yet another example of how MSNBC is working hand in glove with the Democrat elite and the Kamala Harris campaign to try to spread lies, simply things that are not true. So what this means is MSNBC is a for-profit corporation. They are helping Kamala Harris's election campaign. Yep. And what they are doing through their platform would qualify as an in-kind contribution to her campaign.
And I've been saying that. I've been saying the way that the fake news have been pushing her up is a campaign contribution. Remember that document that got leaked a couple weeks ago where the Chameleon campaign has sent out the new talking points? Yeah, from now on, say, I wasn't the border czar. Say, my responsibility was just checking into the origins and the causes of migration. Say that They just literally gave them a list of things to say. And then the montage showed the media repeating everything on that list. And it came from MSNBC and CNN. And I'm thinking to myself, that's a campaign contribution. They are literally campaigning for this woman, propping her up. Unbelievable. And Tulsi, you hit it right on the head. They need to pay a price.
Worth a lot of money. The fact that they are doing this should require the Federal Elections Commission that manages campaign spending and campaign finance to require them to report this as an in-kind campaign contribution.
And reveal that you guys work for the DNC, the deep state. Yeah, I want it to be known to all the dummies who watch all and think you're a legitimate news source. I want them to know they're watching a skit. They're watching some type of Saturday Night Live skit. I want them to know that they're watching paid actors on TV. That's what I want them to know. Whether it works or not, whether they are still able to understand it, well, I shouldn't take them seriously, but at least they won't have an excuse that, I mean, y'all heard it on the news. No, you heard it basically on Saturday Night Live, and you believed it.
Or to be punished for abusing their position in trying to use their platform that has nothing to do with journalism. It is purely a propaganda platform, and that they are using this in order to try to help Kamala Harris get elected.
Wow.
These people need to be held accountable for what they're doing, because otherwise they will continue to do this, continue to abuse their platform and their power to try to deceive the American people and help her get elected.
And that's exactly what they're doing. But wait a minute. Show me the other stuff. So that was MSNBC. This guy thinks he's on to something about CNN. Let's see what CNN's up to.
CNN just got caught using AI to try to make the crowds at a Kamala Harris event look bigger. Let me introduce you to Catherine Rampell. He works for the Washington Post and is a commentator on CNN. And this was the image she posted. He said, scenes from the Harris fundraiser in Pittsfield, Massachusetts.
Wow, look at all those people, guys, that came out to see Chameleon. Y'all see all those people?
People started noticing some little issues with this photo. And she said, getting spam claiming these photos are AI. Not sure why I'd use AI to create a crowd of people in downtown Pittsfield.
I know why you would. Because you're trying to prop up Chameleon Kamala Harris and make her think, or make their voters think that everybody's on board. Everybody's excited. So the fake news will go to a Trump rally 7 a.m, take a couple pictures of them setting up, and then post stuff. Trump's rally is empty. That not even Trump showed up. There's only a couple cleaning and maintenance guys there, and a couple tumbleweed is rolling around. I think I saw some pigeons eating some popcorn, but that's about it. Trump's not popular at all. But then would take this and start fiddling with it? Well, you know what? Show us, young man.
Then people started zooming in. The fuck is going on with that road sign?
Good question. That does look odd.
How does that happen? Someone explain to me how they can put their hands through the fucking sign?
That does look like AI. Whoever put those people in, they need a new graphic designer. They need somebody who at least make it look believable. They left all the flaws. They must have been in a hurry. All right, then we need to get this story out quickly. Just put them in there. Now, you sure? Because I'm telling you, somebody's going to peep this out. You're going to get exposed. No, you know what? No, our people they won't see it. They won't ever catch it. Just put it out and put that mess out there. And I'm looking at it like, wow, some of those folks' noses don't even look real.
And what language is this? Like, it's very obvious. This is all fake. Like, they tried to take a tiny crowd at her fundraiser and make it some big event using AI. We're now at the point that in the last 2 days alone, we got MSNBC editing a Joe Rogan clip to make it sound like he supported Kamala Harris, when actually he was talking about Tulsi Gabbard. Now we got CNN using AI to make it look like people give a about Kamala Harris. It has become very clear that the mainstream media is willing to lie directly to your face. It's up to you whether or not you're going to take.
That's the question. Are you going to take it or not? Now, some people don't realize that they're lying to them. And that's why I'm here. I like exposing the fake news. I love it. And of course, that's probably why YouTube makes sure that my videos somehow hit roadblocks mysteriously. I'm shocked that we even got 375 people right now watching. So I appreciate that. But I wonder how many we would have if the notifications actually went out. We found out a couple weeks ago, y'all, when I guess the guy who was supposed to suppress my videos fell asleep. Yeah. Shot up all over the place. But now we're back to business as usual. So guys, you see the media is the biggest campaign contributor to the Harris campaign. I mean, without the fake news, not only would Harris be horrible and she wouldn't even be running, first of all. She would get destroyed. Without the media, she would be horrible and would get destroyed, but also the Democrat Party. The whole party sucks. They all rely on propaganda, lies, identity politics, but it's supported by the machine. They put things in place to support their lies and deception. And unfortunately, it works. We have to spread the word through word of mouth and trying to negotiate our way through the platforms that most of them own. And that's a challenge in itself. Thank God Elon bought X, or else they would have the board. They would have 100% of all of the social media platforms, except for Rumble. So now, this guy, though, he realized that it's just a turd. That's right. The media tried to wrap that turd up like it's a Klondike bar or a Snickers bar or, whatever. Yeah, tried to wrap it all up and sell it to him. And this dude said, I ain't having it, man. I don't need no doo-doo, okay? Give me real chocolate, man.
I just listened to Kamala Harris give a speech at the Delaware headquarters.
Okay.
And she stated that Donald Trump is trying to take back America. And she also stated that means that he's going to take us back to a time to where people that look like me didn't have rights.
Yeah, they do be saying that, y'all. If you're a person of color. That's how far the propaganda goes with the fake news and Democrats. Put y'all back in chains. Stuff like that. Always bringing up slavery, suggesting that Trump is going to somehow deport black people, just black Americans, not illegal immigrants, black Americans, going to just send us off somewhere, back to our country, I guess. Okay, this is the stuff that they push, y'all.
And I'm sitting here thinking, like, isn't this the same line that you fed us in 2015 and 2016 when he was running for president? That if Donald Trump takes political office and is a president, that black people are no longer going to have rights and that we're going to become slaves again? What happened? 4 years of a Trump presidency, guess what? Not one black person, not one Negro was made into a slave.
What? Their voodoo ain't working on this guy? He's voodoo proof? You telling me this guy right here is voodoo and doo-doo proof? There you go. He's not eating that doo-doo they trying to serve him. He knows his doo-doo. That man right there is like, that ain't no chocolate, man. So now, I'm liking it. He's voodoo and doo-doo proof.
If anything, I got more free. My finances got better. My life got better. My profession got better. Everything got better. But now we're seeing a constant downward slide under the Biden administration. And my thing is, how many times are we going to go through the same narrative that Trump is racist, Trump is a white supremacist, and that he's bad for black people, and that he's going to take us back into slavery and take our rights away?
Thank you. I'm mad that other minorities can't see that. I'm like, you still falling for that? You lived through 4 years of Trump, and nobody knocked on your door. You didn't hear nobody in the middle of the night going, yeah. I think we got one inside, Earl. You didn't hear none of that. But yet, the Democrats just belittle the intelligence of so many people by recycling the same narratives, hoping that their short-term memory forgets that Trump did none of that. Most folks benefited from Trump's presidency. But what do? Our people are dumb. So we're going to come right out and say Trump's an existential threat. Trump's a Hitler. He's a threat to democracy. Trump wants to take us back in slavery. Trump wants Jim Crow to return. Trump wants... They will run that crap back. I'm so glad to hear some folks saying, what are y'all doing? What are you talking about? You're not going to get me. You're not going to get me with this. Yeah, you only encourage me to support Trump, baby.
You have to be an absolute idiot to believe that in 2024 in America at this point in time, man. My thing is, if you don't like Trump because you think he's an idiot, I'm okay with that. If you think he's a man-child, I can accept that. If you think he's just a bloviating rich dude and you think he's just an arrogant, ignoramus jerk-off, I can accept that. But I can't accept the fact that you really believe this man's going to take us back into slavery.
But see, that goes to show how the Democrats and the fake news look at their voters. their audience. They go to the extreme lies. The lies that if you got common sense, you should be offended. That's what kills me. They like what he was talking about are reasonable things. Like, okay, man, I don't like his attitude. He always, the way he talks, the way he labels people. I don't like it. He's too arrogant. He's a narcissist. Those are things that if you look at his personality and you don't like it, you think his personality is abrasive, okay. But when they tell you this man called for a bloodbath if he don't get elected, and you go out and repeat that, the fact that they just tried to convince you that Trump called for a bloodbath if he doesn't win, and you don't stop for 1 second to say, how would that look? How stupid would this man be to come out and say this to his audience on TV, and knowing that the media is going to go right out there and say, did you hear what this dude said? And we can't misinterpret it or nothing. Trump literally was like, hey, listen up. If I don't win, I want it to be a bloodbath. I want everybody to go out and start the looting and shooting and killing and scratching and biting and farting and pooting and all of that. Full-blown bloodbath. Not mistaken. We can't walk away going, was that a dog whistle? I mean, no, this man was direct. He made sure. Now, just in case you wonder, I'm talking about physical altercations. Okay, bring your machetes, bring your AR-15s, bring rock sticks, bats, all of it. Bloodbath. That's what I would be expecting after hearing them all on the news talking about Trump calls for a bloodbath. That's what I would be expecting to see when I go and watch the clip. See, because there's no way in the world that if I hear that, my first thought was, wow, this guy right here is calling for violence if he doesn't win. I would start putting that together like, wait, that doesn't make much sense. Maybe I should go and watch this myself. They don't even think like that. Straight take it. Trump's Hitler. Hitler. He's Hitlerish out there. Do you know what he said? He's poison in the blood of the... And I'm going... And when I hear people repeat these things, it just causes me to lose more faith in humanity. Some people I literally just have to walk away from. I just be sitting there like, wow. The fact that you bought that, I don't even know how to respond to it. I'm not, I ain't got the energy because I would have to unravel so much. I would have to start from scratch with your brain, and I ain't got the time. I ain't got the time or the energy. You work that out if you can. But this brother, he's like, I'm done with you if that's what you believe.
You're an absolute idiot, and I ain't got nothing for you if you really believe that.
Thank you, brother. Thank you. Now, guys, I want to finish my prosecution of the prosecutor that's trying to go after Donald Trump. But I think that I need more time to work through this. So I think this is a good place to stop and start up tomorrow. Plus, I got a couple other clips I want to insert in there. And we done knocked out a good hour and 18 minutes anyway. And I think what that brother said is wonderful. And it's a wonderful note to end on. And hopefully other people out there across the country would start thinking like that. It's unreal, man. The news covers for her, and then they attack Trump for her. That's the strategy. And they go after Trump with such viciousness, such hyperbole, so many lies, just like they lied on Joe Rogan. They lie on Trump. That's where you get bloodbath. That's where you get poison in the blood of the country. That's when you get all of these things that Trump said. You get that from these propaganders. And then you get Kamala didn't. She wasn't a border czar. She wasn't none of that stuff from the same propaganders. So we got to keep fighting against that because they're going to keep doing it. Yeah, man, she's their hope now. But I don't think the hype is going to last. I think she will get exposed. And we'll be talking about some more of that starting tomorrow. Popping it off with Tom Cotton because Tom Cotton had something to say about it. So thanks for hanging out with me tonight. I hope you guys had a good time, and I will be back here tomorrow, same time, same place, 7 to roughly 8:30, somewhere around there. Try not to go past 8:30. Now, if you would be so kind as to hit the like button on your way out, share my videos, follow me on all the other social media platforms because they're all listed below. And if you want, check out Kevin's Corner Store, or you can support the channel through my Cash App and my PayPal. Other than that, I think we are gone. Guys, somebody asked about Jersey. Jersey had to get put to sleep. Her hips, she was an older Labrador, and her hips just went on her, so she had to get put to sleep. So right now, I have Gizmo, who needs a haircut, and Caesar, who got a haircut, but he looks ridiculous. Yeah, old man Caesar is still alive, y'all. He's about to, I think his birthday is like a couple days before mine. He would be 115, something like that. He's ridiculously old. I thought Caesar died twice. I got busted trying to bury him and he was still alive. He busted me, y'all. Literally, I let him outside one day and I'm calling him like, where the heck is he now? He was blind, deaf, everything. He disappears. So I'm sitting there like, where the heck is this dog? I go look out the back window. Caesar's laying in the grass on his side, not breathing, mouth open, eyes open. I'm looking at his body, his chest, wasn't breathing, going up and down. I'm like, oh crap, man, Caesar died? Oh well. So I go get the gloves. I got the shovel. I go out there, get ready to bury Caesar. Walked up on him and Caesar popped up like, looking at me like, he had that look on his face like, hey, what are you doing? Huh? Nothing. Why do you have a bag in your hand? With gloves on and a shovel. Oh, I was some leaves. I was going to rake up you alive? Then he did it again. And I was thinking to myself, okay, something's obviously going on with Caesar. He's getting ready to kick the bucket. It's about 3 days later, I let him outside. He goes down the driveway. On the way back up the driveway, Caesar falls over and stops moving. That man wasn't breathing. His eyes was open, and I'm like, oh, well, okay, fine. Caesar's finally died. Went and got the shovel, got the gloves, and the trash bag halfway down the driveway. And what happens? What are you doing? I'm sitting there feeling guilty because I'm about to bury him alive. I'm like, hey, buddy. Glad you're okay. You good? And do you know that dog recovered? He's fine. I'm sitting there like, what the heck was that? For like twice, he literally just almost died. I'm like, when I tell y'all, he looked like he was dead. I was calling him. I actually walked up kind of close, like, okay, he's dead. I have no idea how he survived. But here he is, walking around, going up and down the steps, everything. So, yeah, I'm rooting for him now at this point. I'm like, I want to see him hit 100 and something. So anyway, we'll see. One day I'm going to have to show y'all Caesar, old man Caesar. But anyway, thanks for hanging out with me tonight. We will see y'all tomorrow. I'm not going to skirt down to my music, so we'll just go ahead and end it. But God bless y'all. We'll see y'all tomorrow, same time. Take care.